The rain lashed against the windshield of Chloe Everett's champagne-colored Porsche as she squinted into the darkness, trying to make out house numbers on the waterlogged street. Lightning cracked open the night sky, illuminating a modest neighborhood in a Philadelphia suburb far from her Rittenhouse Square world. Her GPS had gone dark half an hour ago, and her phone displayed 0 bars. "This can't be right," she whispered, gripping the steering wheel as thunder vibrated through the car. The museum benefit she was meant to host felt like a lifetime away. Now, soaked and disoriented in the Winfield section, Chloe felt a profound vulnerability. Through the sheeting rain, she spotted a faintly lit address, 4321. The house was mostly dark, save for a warm amber glow in a front window. Chloe grabbed her handbag, threw her trench coat over her head, and made a frantic dash. A porch light flickered on as she reached the door, and she began knocking urgently. "Hello? Please, can anyone help me? I'm lost my car." The door opened to reveal a tall, solidly built black man in his early 30s, wearing a simple charcoal sweatshirt and jeans. His dark eyes showed immediate concern as he took in the sight of the drenched, expensively dressed woman on his step. "Ma'am, are you all right?" Isaiah Carter asked, his voice a deep, calming rumble. Chloe looked up, her usual poise in tatters. Water streamed from her chestnut hair, her makeup blurred. "I'm so sorry to disturb you. I'm completely turned around. My phone died, and I was looking for the Whitman estate for a fundraiser. I must have the wrong address." Isaiah glanced past her at the tempest, then back at her shivering form. Without hesitation, he stepped aside. "Come in, please. You'll catch your death out there." "Oh, I really shouldn't," Chloe began, every instinct of propriety warning her. "It's a tropical storm out there," he said, his tone firm yet kind. "Whatever rules you're worrying about can wait until you're not soaked to the bone." Chloe hesitated, looking at this stranger whose skin color and unassuming home triggered a cascade of unexamined prejudices from her upbringing. Another earth-shaking clap of thunder made the decision for her. She stepped inside. The interior was not what she expected. The house was spotlessly clean, with warm oak floors, comfortable, stylish furniture, and bookshelves lining the walls. The rich smell of something cooking drifted from the kitchen. "I'm Isaiah Carter," he said, fetching a thick, clean towel from a hallway bench. "And you're clearly a long way from home." "Chloe Everett," she replied automatically, accepting the towel gratefully. "And yes, I definitely am." Isaiah studied her, taking in her designer silk dress and pearls. "Everett? As in Everett Pharmaceuticals?" Chloe's defenses rose instantly. "You know my family's company? I know they own a good chunk of the commercial labs in the state, including the one where I worked before they outsourced my entire department last year." The words landed heavily between them. Chloe felt her face grow hot. "I'm truly sorry about that, but I had no part in those decisions." "Easy," Isaiah said, raising his hands peacefully. "I'm not holding you personally responsible. Truth is, getting laid off was the push I needed. Made me start my own venture." Chloe glanced around the inviting space, her assumptions subtly shifting. "What kind of venture?" "I'm a contractor. Focus on restoring older homes. Places like this with good bones that just need some attention and skill." He gestured around with visible pride. "This place was practically a shell when I bought it 2 years ago." Despite herself, Chloe was impressed. The woodwork was meticulous, the floors radiant. "You did all this work yourself?" "Every nail and brushstroke. Turns out I'm more useful with tools in my hands than a keyboard." Chloe felt an unexpected flutter at his words and the quiet assurance in his voice. She quickly dismissed it. Lightning flashed, followed immediately by thunder that rattled the window panes. "Looks like you're my guest for a while," Isaiah observed. "Weather says this won't break until sunrise. Can I get you some hot chocolate? Or maybe something stronger?" Chloe checked her platinum watch. She'd missed the entire event. Her unexplained absence would be the talk of her circle. But looking at Isaiah's sincere offer, she found herself nodding. "Hot chocolate sounds perfect, thank you." As Isaiah went to the kitchen, Chloe stood alone in his living room, enveloped by a life utterly foreign to her own. For the first time in memory, she was entirely out of her element, relying on the kindness of a stranger her world had conditioned her to mistrust. But as she listened to him moving about, humming a low tune, she began to wonder if everything she'd been taught about men like Isaiah Carter might be mistaken. Chloe accepted the steaming mug. The aroma was deeper, richer than the expensive cocoa served at her club. She sat carefully on the edge of his couch. "This is wonderful. What's in it?" "A little dark chocolate, a hint of spice, some real cream. I take my comfort seriously." Isaiah settled into a chair opposite, keeping a polite distance. "Most people just use a powder packet. Most people haven't worked on a cacao cooperative in Belize," he said with a slight smile. "You've been to Belize?" Chloe couldn't hide her surprise. Isaiah chuckled. "I've been to a number of places, Chloe. Just because my address is in Winfield doesn't mean my passport is empty." Heat rose in her cheeks as she grasped how patronizing she must have sounded. Her mother's voice echoed with warnings about different backgrounds. "I'm sorry," she said quietly. "That came out wrong." "We all carry assumptions," Isaiah said gently, without accusation. "The measure is whether we're willing to put them down when they no longer fit." Outside, the storm continued its assault, but inside, a quiet conversation was unfolding. Chloe found herself looking at him more closely. He was handsome, with strong features and perceptive eyes that seemed to see past her curated exterior. "Tell me about your travels," she heard herself say. Isaiah leaned back. "After college, I did a stint with an international aid group. Helped build schools in Malawi, worked on clean water projects in Honduras, assisted with hurricane recovery in Dominica. It rewires your understanding of what matters." "You went to college?" The question escaped before she could stop it, and she winced. Isaiah's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. "University of Pennsylvania. Architectural engineering. Full academic ride." Chloe felt smaller with each detail. Educated, worldly, articulate. Her social set would have written him off based on his neighborhood and his race, without a second thought. "What about you?" Isaiah asked, his tone still open. "Where did you study?"
Wharton.
"Business management." It was expected. "I'm supposed to step into a leadership role at the family firm eventually." "And is that what you want?" It was such a fundamental question, yet no one had ever posed it to her. I'm not certain. It's what's been arranged." "That's not what I asked." Chloe met his gaze, encountering a directness she wasn't accustomed to. In her world, genuine desires were obscured by social obligation. "Honestly, sometimes I feel like I'm performing. The accomplished daughter, the gracious socialite, the future CEO. But I'm not sure any of those roles are the real me." Isaiah nodded slowly. "I know that feeling. Before the layoff, I was trying to wear a suit that never really fit. Trying to be the person the corporate world wanted, instead of who I actually was." "And who are you actually?" "Someone who believes in building things that endure. Who thinks a solid house in a community like Winfield has more value than a showpiece built on shifting sand." Chloe was drawn in by his conviction. "My parents would say you're not maximizing your potential." "And what would you say?" She looked around at the skillful restoration surrounding them. "I'd say you've found work that fulfills you. That's a rare thing in my world." A comfortable silence settled between them. Chloe noticed Isaiah's hands as he cradled his mug, strong, capable, marked by honest labor, yet graceful. Everything about him contradicted the caricature her upbringing had sketched. "Can I ask you something?" Isaiah said after a while. "What brought you to this neighborhood tonight?" "The Whitman estate is in Gladwine, a solid 25 miles from here." Chloe's cheeks burned. "My usual driver was unavailable. I insisted on driving myself. I've never actually navigated these streets before. When my navigation died, I just spiraled." "You've lived in Philadelphia your entire life and never spent time in Winfield?" "Not to speak of. I've passed through on the expressway." Isaiah shook his head, more bemused than judgmental. "That's like owning a library, but only ever reading the headlines." "I know how it sounds," Chloe said, defensive. "But my family always said it wasn't safe, that there was no reason for someone like me to come to areas like this. Someone like you? Privileged.
White.
Sheltered, I suppose. And what's your opinion now that you're here? Chloe looked around the warm, lived-in home, considered Isaiah's kindness to a total stranger, his education, his clear passion. I think my family might have been mistaken about a great many things. Thunder boomed, but Chloe didn't flinch. For the first time since her arrival, she felt anchored. That awareness was both exhilarating and frightening. The storm raged on. Chloe used Isaiah's phone to call her assistant, explaining her absence with a version of the truth. Now she found herself sharing a simple meal with a man her ordinary life would never have intersected with. I hope you're okay with chili, Isaiah said, setting a bowl of aromatic turkey chili before her. It was on the stove when you arrived. Chloe took a spoonful. Her eyes widened. This is amazing. Where did you learn to cook like this? My grandma, mostly. She raised me after my parents passed when I was 13. She believed a man who couldn't cook a proper meal wasn't worth his salt. I'm so sorry about your parents, Chloe said softly, confronted with a depth of loss her sheltered life had never touched. Thank you. Grandma made sure I learned what was important. She was strict as anything, but her love was boundless. She would have approved of you. You think so? Even with all my initial baggage? Isaiah's eyes crinkled with humor. Grandma always said folks can't help what they're taught as children, but they're fully responsible for what they choose to believe as adults. He grew thoughtful. When I was at Penn, I was one of a handful of black students in my engineering classes. Some peers made their own assumptions, that I was a diversity admission, that I couldn't possibly be their academic equal. That must have been infuriating. It was, at first. Then I understood their prejudice was their prison, not mine. A few actually became real friends once they saw me as a person, not a category. Chloe felt a sharp twinge of recognition. How many Isaiahs had she unconsciously dismissed? What changed their minds?
Time.
Shared projects. Seeing my work stand on its own. He met her eyes. Same process that's unfolding here right now, I suspect. Chloe's heart did a small, unexpected leap. She steered the conversation. Tell me more about your restoration projects. Isaiah's face animated with enthusiasm. He showed her photos on his tablet of dilapidated Victorians transformed into stunning, character-filled homes. Isaiah, this work is extraordinary. You have a real gift. It's meaningful work. I'm saving history while giving families a better foundation. What's your dream project? There's an old theater about 6 blocks from here, built in 1932 by a jazz impresario. It's been boarded up for 12 years, slowly crumbling. I walk by sometimes and picture what it could be again. Why don't you buy it? Isaiah laughed. Would take close to $1 million to acquire and restore it right. That's a bit beyond my current reach. Chloe felt a sudden, powerful impulse to help, to be part of something substantive. Could I see it? Isaiah raised an eyebrow. You want to tour a crumbling theater in Winfield? I want to see the potential you see. Something warmed in his expression. I'd like that. Their gazes held, and for a moment, the storm, her schedule, all the reasons this was impractical faded away. Another violent thunderclap shattered the moment. The guest room is yours if you want it, Isaiah said. Safer than trying to drive in this. Every rule of decorum protested, but as she saw the genuine care in his eyes, she nodded. Thank you. I appreciate it. As he showed her to a cozy, simply furnished room, Chloe realized her initial apprehension had morphed into a curious anticipation. For the first time in her meticulously planned existence, she was eager for the morning. Chloe woke to the scent of fresh coffee and the soft patter of lingering rain. For a disorienting second, she expected her sleek downtown loft. Her phone showed a flood of concerned messages. A gentle knock came at the door. Chloe? Coffee's brewing. She found Isaiah in the kitchen, dressed in work pants and a t-shirt. He smiled, and that same flutter returned. Sleep okay? Surprisingly well, actually. Over coffee, he asked about her day. Back to the real world, I suppose, she said, but the words felt empty. Actually, could I see that theater first? They walked through the neighborhood in the clean morning light. Chloe saw not a place to avoid, but a community. Kids chased each other in yards. Neighbors called out greetings to Isaiah. They turned a corner, and she stopped short. The old theater stood behind a rusting marquee, its Art Moderne facade still elegant beneath neglect and grime. "Oh, Isaiah," she breathed. "You see it too," he said softly. "See what?" "What it was. What it could be again." Most folks just see a blighted property. Inside, despite the dust and decay, the grandeur was palpable. In the vast auditorium, with its sweeping balcony and ghost of a stage, Chloe could almost hear a big band swinging. "It would be breathtaking," she whispered. When she opened her eyes, Isaiah was nearer, looking at her with an intensity that made her breath catch. "You really get it," he said quietly. They were close now. Chloe became acutely aware of his presence, his solidity, the way he looked at her as if discovering something remarkable. The thought, clear and startling, formed in her mind. She wanted him to kiss her. "Isaiah," she whispered. For a suspended moment, they stood on the precipice of a change that would rewrite everything. Then a loud thud from backstage broke the spell. They stepped apart, hearts racing. That evening, back in her silent, luxurious loft, Chloe couldn't escape thoughts of him. A text from her mother reminded her of a charity luncheon and that lovely Brendan, a suitable, tedious investment banker from an old family. He was everything Isaiah wasn't. He was also profoundly uninteresting. In the days that followed, Chloe found excuses to drive through Winfield. She bumped into Isaiah at a local diner where he was meeting with an older community pillar, Mr. Jenkins, who proceeded to sing Isaiah's praises, not just for his renovations, but for his mentorship programs and neighborhood advocacy. Chloe saw the depth of his roots. He wasn't just a resident, he was a cornerstone. "Why do you invest so much of yourself here?" she asked as they walked later. "My grandma used to say, 'A rising tide lifts all boats,' but you have to be the tide for your own shore first. This community looked out for me. Now I'm able to look out for it." Watching him, helping a teen fix a bike, checking in on an elder, discussing a community garden plot, Chloe felt something fundamental shift within her. "You're the glue here. It's home. These are my people." At a small park where new benches were being installed, a young girl ran up. "Mr. Isaiah, my mom says thank you for the shelf. You tell Miss Sharon she's very welcome, Keisha." He gave the girl a warm smile. Keisha's mother, Denise, approached. She shook Chloe's hand. "Isaiah's told us about you. Says you see the good here." Later, Chloe asked, "What did you expect me to be like?" Isaiah stopped walking. "Honestly, I expected someone distant, superficial, someone who'd only see lack. Instead, I see someone with real curiosity. Someone who listens. Someone with more heart than she lets on." Tears threatened Chloe's eyes. "I feel like I've been on autopilot, following a script I never questioned." "What matters to you, Chloe?" She looked at the vibrant community around them. "This. What you've nurtured. The tangible difference you make. You could make a difference too, with your access, your platform. Come to our neighborhood planning meeting next week." The invitation ignited her first real confrontation with her parents. Out of the question, her father, Charles Everett, declared at dinner, "Your little excursions to that part of town are concerning enough." "A meeting? Chloe, what are you thinking?" "I'm thinking I should understand the whole city I live in. They have a completely different set of values," her mother, Diana, interjected. "You can write a check if you feel charitable, but personal involvement is unnecessary and unseemly." "You don't know their values," Chloe said quietly. Charles's expression turned stern. "There's talk you've been seen with a man from that area. It ends now. Consider our family's reputation." "Our family's reputation was built on pharmaceutical patents that price out the very people in that neighborhood," Chloe retorted, shocking herself. "Maybe we should use our standing for something better." The silence was icy. "You will cease contact," Charles said coldly, "or you will be cut off financially and removed from the company." You have no idea what being truly on your own entails." Shaken but resolute, Chloe faced the truth. Her feelings for Isaiah were profound. She was falling in love. Isaiah faced parallel pressures. At his local coffee shop, the owner, an older man named Mr. Lewis, took him aside. "People are talking, Isaiah. Some think she's just having an adventure. Others worry you're getting ideas above your station." His crew was blunter. "Man, are you serious?" asked his longtime friend and business partner, Malik. "How do you see this working? She's from a different planet." That night, Isaiah called Chloe. "We need to talk." They met at a quiet cafe. "My father issued an ultimatum," Chloe said. "I've had 2 clients cancel contracts," Isaiah replied, his voice heavy. Word spread. "My crew, Malik and Andre, left today. Said I was chasing a fantasy and neglecting the work that pays the bills." "Isaiah, that's not fair. Look at the reality. Since we got involved, I've lost business, lost my team, created friction in my community. You're risking your entire world. Maybe everyone has a point. Maybe this is a fantasy. Or maybe it's the most real thing either of us has ever done. At what cost?" Isaiah's eyes were full of conflict. "If my business fails, I can't support the community projects that matter. If you're disinherited, you might come to blame me. Love doesn't always conquer bank statements and social divides." "So you're giving up?" "I'm saying we should pause. I can't be the reason you lose everything you've ever known." "You're what I want to know," Chloe said, her voice breaking. "You say that now. But in a year?" "5 years." He stood. "I care for you, Chloe. That's precisely why I won't be the catalyst for your ruin." He left her there, watching him walk away into the night. Chloe didn't sleep. By sunrise, her path was clear. She called her assistant. "Clear my calendar for the next 2 weeks. Draft a formal letter to my father. I am declining his terms." Her next call was to Mr. Jenkins. "I need to know," Chloe said in his tidy living room, "that if Isaiah and I can't find our way, you'll still allow me to contribute here. That my commitment to the theater isn't tied to my relationship with him." Mr. Jenkins studied her. "What's your plan, young lady?" "To show up. To work. To prove my intentions are genuine, regardless of my personal life." Next, Chloe went to the theater. She found Isaiah there with a new team. "I've hired a preservation specialist to begin the structural assessment," she stated. "You hired someone? You suggested we step back. I'm moving forward with the project. This is my promise to this neighborhood." A new crew member voiced skepticism about her motives. "This isn't a handout," Chloe said calmly. "It's a collaboration. The community will guide the vision. I'm providing capital. You're providing the soul. I get to be part of building something lasting." Isaiah asked to speak alone. "You're really doing this, even if we aren't?" "Especially if we aren't. I see the value here myself now. I can't unsee it, Isaiah." Isaiah was quiet for a long moment. "The pressure from both sides is immense. Are you truly prepared for that?" "Are you?" Chloe asked. "I've been wondering what your grandmother would tell you to do." A sad, affectionate smile touched his lips. "She'd tell me a love that's real is worth any hardship. That a man who walks away from happiness because the path is rocky isn't much of a man." "She sounds like an incredible woman. She would have adored you." Isaiah reached for her hands. "I think about that impresario who built this theater. Imagine the faith it took to create this palace of music in a world that told him his dreams were too big. We could be like him," Chloe whispered. "We could create beauty in spite of everything. It will be the hardest thing we've ever done. The most worthwhile things always are." Isaiah looked into her eyes, then at the theater, then back at her. "I love you, Chloe Everett. I love your bravery and your stubborn hope. I love you too, Isaiah Carter. I love your strength and your unwavering faith in what could be." So, where does that leave us? It leaves us choosing to prove everyone wrong. It leaves us restoring this theater together. It leaves us building a bridge with our lives. He kissed her then, a kiss of promise and resolve, in the shadow of the theater that had shown them a common dream. 6 months later, the theater was slowly coming back to life. Chloe and Isaiah worked side by side, building trust as they rebuilt the structure. Her family had cut her off financially, but she discovered her own capabilities, taking a job with an urban revitalization foundation. Isaiah had weathered the loss of some clients, but gained more aligned, meaningful projects. The turning point was a neighborhood celebration in the partially restored lobby. Chloe's old acquaintances mingled with Winfield families, finding unexpected common ground. Even her mother, Diana, came, standing awkwardly near the entrance. "You came, Mom." "It's not what I imagined," Diana said, taking in the elegant, though unfinished space. "What did you imagine?" "Something less substantial." She watched Isaiah explaining a historical detail to a captivated group. "He's quite impressive." "Yes, he is. And he looks at you the way your father never looked at me." "I love him, Mom." Diana was quiet. "Your father won't come. He's still convinced this is rebellion." "It's not rebellion. It's my life. Isaiah is my future. This work is my calling." Diana turned, really looking at her daughter. "You seem content. Truly. I haven't seen you this alive in years." "I am. For the first time, I'm building a life, not just occupying one." Later, as they straightened chairs, Isaiah asked, "Any second thoughts?" "About leaving your old world?" Chloe looked around at the progress, at the community buzzing through the space. "Not a single one. This life has depth. Our love has a purpose bigger than just us." Isaiah drew her close. "Mr. Jenkins thinks we were destined to meet, that the storm was a divine nudge." Maybe he's right. That real love doesn't just survive obstacles, it uses them as building materials. Isaiah smiled, pulling a small velvet box from his pocket. He opened it to reveal a classic, elegant ring. "Chloe Everett," he said, going to one knee on the stage of their theater. "Will you marry me? Will you spend your life with me, showing that love can truly conquer every barrier?" Through tears, Chloe nodded, then found her voice. "Yes. Yes to it all." 1 year later, they were married in the fully restored theater, surrounded by a beautifully blended community that saw their union as a testament to possibility. Chloe's father attended, standing stiffly in the back, but her mother sat in the front row, weeping unashamedly. Before their vows, they shared reflections. "A year and a half ago, I was lost," Chloe said. "Isaiah offered me shelter from a storm, and then he showed me how to weather the ones inside myself." Isaiah spoke next. "You taught me that prejudice is a two-way street. I was so afraid of being judged that I almost prejudged you. You showed me that courage wears many faces." They exchanged vows that spoke of personal devotion and a shared mission to build understanding. When they were pronounced husband and wife, the applause was a roaring, joyous wave. That night, on the theater's restored mezzanine, Isaiah asked, "Regrets?" "Only that we didn't find each other sooner," Chloe said. "Think of all the time we spent in separate orbits. Maybe we needed that time to become the people who could recognize this when it arrived." They looked out over their neighborhood, their shared home. The theater would open as a community arts center next season. "What comes next?" Chloe asked. Isaiah smiled, his arms around her. "Next, we keep building. We keep learning. We keep proving that love is the strongest foundation there is." "I love you, Isaiah Carter." "I love you too, Chloe Carter." The sound of her new name was a melody. The storm that brought her to his door was a distant memory, but the sanctuary they had built together, for each other and for their community, would stand forever.